If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. You know the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. A little love in your heart. A little love in your heart. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. You know the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. A little love in your heart. A little love in your heart. Put a little love in. Put a little love in. Put a little love in your heart. In your heart.
Think of your fellow man, give him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart.
You see it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. You know the world will be a better place
For you,
and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by, and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. You know the world will be a better place
for you,
and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. A little love in your heart. A little love in your heart. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. You know the world will be a better place
for you,
and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. A little love in your heart. A little love in your heart. Put a little love in. Put a little love in. Put a little love in your heart. In your heart.
everyone. I am the Reverend Dana Edwards, and my pronouns are she and her. And whether you're joining us in line or in person, I'd like you to give yourself a little pat on the back for getting yourself here, both in person or online, in this liminal time between Christmas and New Year's, between the holidays and a new beginning. So we're so glad that you're here this morning with us. And I don't know if I said my pronouns are she and her, and I am a white, middle-aged woman with short brown hair, wearing black glasses, and today I'm wearing my PJs. So I'm wearing, yes, because it is a PJs and Poetry service, you guys, so here I am. So I'm wearing a black t-shirt with some words that say I'm in my holiday era, and a black hoodie, and plaid PJ pants, and a stole that is winter-themed. And we are here at Cedar Lane Unitarian Universalist Congregation, where love works. Yes, it does. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you come from, whatever your life circumstances, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, disability, documentation status, or spiritual path, you are welcome here. If you're new or still finding your way, we would love to connect with you this morning. For our friends online, please say hello in the chat. And if you're here in person, please feel free to raise your hand if you're new so we can offer you a warm Cedar Lane welcome. Let's give a warm Cedar Lane welcome. After service, please join us in the fellowship hall for refreshments and conversation. And remember, at Cedar Lane, yellow means hello. Oh, sorry, I always jump the gun there. Let's try again. And remember, at Cedar Lane, yellow means hello. So if you see someone holding a yellow mug, that's your invitation to introduce yourself. And if you pick up a white mug, that's your chance to say hello to someone new. Now, if you are new, or if you've just never been to a service between Christmas and New Year's before, today is a little bit different. We'll go through our typical liturgy, but instead of a sermon, you all create the content. You create the meaning, the depth, the connection in today's service by sharing your favorite poem or very short poems from the pulpit. And so as we enter this time of worship this morning, I invite you to lean into the joy, the music, the connection, and the movement of this multi-generational space. Feel free to use the creative listening materials in the back if you need some help centering yourself. And if you need a moment of care, John Gubbings is here this morning as part of our caring ministry team. Now, in the spirit of love and connection, if you're online, drop a greeting in the chat. And if you're here in the room, turn and give your neighbor a warm Cedar Lane welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I am Mamohaw Narasimhan. My pronouns are she, her, and it's a joy to be your worship associate this morning. I am wearing a black and white dress with a green scarf, as well as a green hat and a blue jacket. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we light a chalice to remind us that the faith that we share and the community we create together. As Jessica Sawyer comes forward to light our chalice here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you joining us online to let us know where you are lighting your chalice from. And now I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and join me in the chalice lighting words. The chalice we light today is a symbol of our faith. It binds us together as one people, a reminder that our strength is in our shared hope for the world, and that our common work is the creation of beloved community among ourselves and in the world. Thank you.
Please remain standing for My Life Flows On, an endless song. The words will be on the screen and in your gray hymnal.
As we enter this quiet time together, I invite you to pause, take a slow breath in, and let it out gently. Feel yourself here, safe and surrounded by this circle of care. This is a moment to honor the fullness of life, the joys that gladden our hearts and the sorrows that weigh heavily, questions we carry within. Whatever you bring with you this morning, know that you are held here in love. We hold especially those living in grief and uncertainty, federal workers facing job loss, immigrants seeking safety, our trans and non-binary beloveds, women and people of color confronting injustice, and all who live with illness or disability. Our caring extends beyond these walls. We remember all those whose lives are scarred by war, genocide, violence, and displacement, and all whose communities suffer the relentless impact of climate change. We pray for healing, for justice, and for peace, however fragile that it may take root and grow. Now, in the spirit of compassion and connection, I invite you to rise in body and or in spirit and speak aloud the names of those you carry in your heart, or share them in the chat. Together, let us hold them in stillness and love. We now invite you to a ritual of connection. On the side tables are smooth stones waiting to be chosen. If you feel moved, please come forward and place a stone in the bowl of water as a sign of what you carry: a joy, a sorrow, a prayer, a hope. May the ripples remind us that none of us carry these things alone. You're welcome to come forward now.
I invite you to stay in this contemplative space, this time of prayer and meditation. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze. Feel your feet on the floor and just breathe. Just take a moment to breathe and notice if you can deepen the connection between the earth and your feet. See if you can find that grounding energy between you and the earth in this liminal space, this in-between time. And if you can, maybe invite that energy to move from your feet, up your legs, and just noticing that grounding. Noticing if you can feel a sense of peace move through you. And inviting that grounding energy to move up through your legs into your solar plexus and move through your chest and your arms. Move up through your throat into your head, through to the top of your head. And just let that grounding energy flow within, among, and around you. Noticing if you feel further grounding from the people around you, from this community at Cedar Lane. And I invite you to take this grounding energy with you into the new year, into the rest of the day, and into the rest of the week. As we move through the liminal space into a brand new year. And when you feel ready, you can wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, maybe move your neck around a little bit if you feel comfortable doing that. And come back into the space and open your eyes as we sing our song of prayer. Each week we gather, we're reminded that this community is sustained by all of us, by our care, our presence, and our generosity. The offering we take now is more than just financial support. It's a way of saying yes. Yes to Cedar Lane's mission, yes to the values we are called to live out together, yes to love and justice and generosity and transformation. And your gifts make this possible. They are what sustain our worship, our programs for all ages, our partnerships in the wider world, even our creative listening materials that are so loved and well used. And they sustain our capacity to grow in faith and in service. This morning, our Share the Plate partner is UUSJ, or the Unitarian Universalists for Social Justice. UUSJ provides a unique vehicle in our nation's capital for engaging in national dialogues, civic actions, and advocacy efforts on issues facing our country in real time, consistent with UU values and support of our mission to advocate, educate, and empower to achieve just, equitable national policies and actions. And I don't need to tell you all that right now this is more important than ever. UUSJ works by selecting issues strategically that are moving through Congress and inviting UUs to make their voices heard to members of Congress by arranging meetings and visits, publicizing action alerts where UUs might sign a letter to their congressional representative on a particular issue, and conducting workshops and webinars to educate people on emerging issues and organizing witness activities. Today, UUSJ's work is more important than ever to protect and promote democracy. By giving generously, we join in that work. You can give online by text, by mail, or by simply placing your gift in the plate as it is passed by. Every contribution, large or small, helps strengthen this community and extend its reach. This morning's offering will now be given and gratefully received. All right, now to the fun part. Well, that was very fun, actually. It's all fun. Yes, it's all fun. Absolutely. Yes, it is all fun. And this is the part where we get to share our poetry with each other, our favorite poems. And some of you have been here since the first poetry service. And if you can believe it, that was 7 years ago, 2019. I brought our PJs and Poetries from Rockville here to Cedar Lane. And, you know, it was a new thing to try when I was an intern, and people loved it, and we've been doing it every year since. A little different every time, and of course the content is totally different every time, which is lovely. And we did actually 2 in 2025, one now, and we actually did one over the summer as well. And when we did our poetry service over the summer, we wrote collective poetry. Did anybody contribute to that? We wrote things on a little index card. So I thought I would start the service by reading the poem that we wrote collectively together. And it'll bring you into a summer mood because it was a summer poem. It's called A Summer Memoir, and it starts with this. Think where man's glory most begins and ends, and say, my glory was I had such friends. That's a quote from Yeats. Peace, outdoors, alone. I remember the sunrise over a round lake, new and ancient, serene light and delight, bringing the anticipation of hope. I remember yearning to roam and grow on the Rehoboth boardwalk, tethered to my parents' humbling grasp, craving discovery, awed by humanity, hopeful to go swimming. I remember my first love, a new life, and the relief of unscheduled rest, and the joy of balloons and sticky little hands, moments away from release. I remember the climate changing, the heat and more heat, and then I remember it getting hotter. Summers here are hot and stressful and sultry. When the sun is strong on the beach, no breeze coming off the ocean. Oppressive when there is work to be done. Endless, exhausting, extreme. I remember the righteous anger as we fought for freedom, finding strength in solidarity, art, community, never giving into the exile of sadness. I remember the invitation of friends and family on the screened-in porch, enlightening stories shared with levity and flourish, a joyous plunge into gleeful belonging. I remember the mountains and the star-filled skies embracing the earth, effervescent with movement. Fireflies brilliant against the pitch of night, dancing to the loud chirping exaltations of the cicadas. Simplify, treasure, exalt. And that's the poem. And so as people come up to share their favorite poems, one thing that we do in poetry communities is appreciate each other. So I know sometimes in congregations, clapping isn't, welcome. Of course, here at Cedar Lane, it always is. You can snap, like you're in like a old school poetry reading, or you can shake your hands like this, up high, something to let the person reading know that you appreciate their poem, because it is very vulnerable to come up here and share something you love with people that you may or may not even know. And so I would invite you to come up here if you'd like to read a poem through the ramp here, and we can get a line started of maybe like 5 or 6 people, and then we'll take a break. we'll do a hymn, and then we'll do more people can come on up. So come on up. Come on up. And as people are coming up, I just want to say one more housekeeping thing. You're welcome to move the mic so that it works for you, but try to move it from up here and not down here. So if you need to move it, you can move it like this, but try not to do this part because it's a little more fragile down here. Okay? All right. And don't forget to say your name and pronouns.
Why, hello. My name is Babs. My pronouns are they, them. And I am wearing red pajamas that says cat dipped. And cats all over my striped pajamas. This is called Winter Teacher. I just wrote it at 5:30 this morning. So here we go. Winter Teacher. Winter, just like fall, has never been about cold or the passing of time, flowers, and leaves. Winter is a reminder where summer and spring are all about go, 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 vacation fun, work, always on the move. Winter reminds and teaches us to slow down, sit around the fireplace with family and friends, taking your time, blanket forts, drinking hot cocoa. Winter is about new, fresh beginnings. It takes all the stress of spring and summer and covers it in a blanket of snow. Clean, refreshed, absorbed. So you see, winter isn't just about the cold. It's a reminder. It's a teacher. And if we take in those lessons and we really focus on the beauty, and we can really focus on the beauty that winter actually brings. Thank you.
I have a folder of Babs's poems at home, and I'm going to have to ask her to give me that one so I can reread it. Them. Thank you. Sorry, I'm an old person. And the theme of my poems, actually, is aging. And I have 3, but I promised Dana they would be short. We used to have, in the distant past, jazz and poetry services occasionally on Sunday night here at Cedar Lane, but we didn't get to share poems. We invited real poets in. And one of the poets who came in was Linda Paston, who was at that time Poet Laureate of Maryland. And I love all of her poems, but I'm just going to share a short one of hers. If I can find it. Here it is. It's called Self-Portrait at 44. When I first read this, I was younger than 44. Now I'm a lot older than 44, but it still fits. How friendly my failures have become. How understanding. Scraping chairs across the room, they sit down next to me, like family almost. And indeed, we have grown to look alike. One of them always puts a log on the fire, and though it's wet and fouls the room, I am warm for a while and drunk with yawning. I sometimes fall asleep sitting up. The next poem comes from Pakistan, and I wish I could read this to every teenage grandchild in the world so they can know how important their presence is to their grandparents. It's called Grandmother. I hadn't asked her much, just how she felt, and she told me all about her day and how she'd washed the sheets and how she could not understand why the towel got so heavy when it was wet. She'd also sunned the mattress, such tired bones and so much to do. And my eyes filled with tears when I thought of how I was simply going to say salam and walk away, and so many words would have been trapped inside her. I would have passed by as if what lay between those bedclothes was just an old life and not really my grandmother. And this one is a poem which is all about celebrating the later times in life by a woman named Elise McClay. And it's called Come to Think of It, meaning no offense, God, but if I were doing it, I would let people be old first and get it over with. And have their youth to look forward to. Browning calls old age the last of life for which the first was made. I don't buy that. I give you credit for having something better in mind. Whenever I start wondering what that could be, to the impossible possibility, eternal life. There we go.
Good morning. My name is Mary. She, her, hers. I'm a visitor. And this is a favorite poem of mine. Many of you may be familiar with it. I was introduced it to a woman I was working with when I was a librarian back in the day. Wild geese. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep, dark trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clear blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination. Calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jim Lawrenson, and I just whipped this up. Where are we? Haiku style. We're somewhere between dinosaurs and, well, who knows? Evolved? Quickly gone? We have a choice, don't we? What's up with infinite growth on a finite earth? We're at a crossroad. We have to make a choice now. It's almost too late.
My name is Michael Benefiel. My pronouns are he, him, his. Shoveling snow with Buddha. In the usual iconography of the temple or the local walk, you would never see him doing such a thing. Tossing the dry snow over a mountain of his bare, round shoulder, his hair tied in a knot, a model of concentration. Sitting is more his speed, if that is the word for what he does, or does not do. Even the season is wrong for him. In all his manifestations, is it not warm or slightly humid? Is this not implied by his serene expression? That smile so wide it wraps itself around the waist of the universe. But here we are, working our way down the driveway, one shovelful at a time. We toss the light powder into the clear air. We feel the cold mist on our faces, and with every heave, we disappear and become lost to each other in these sudden clouds of our own making, these fountain bursts of snow. This is so much better than a sermon in church. I say out loud, but Buddha keeps on shoveling. This is the true religion, the religion of snow and sunlight and winter geese barking in the sky. I say, but he is too busy to hear me. He has thrown himself into shoveling snow as if it were the purpose of existence, as if the sign of a perfect life were a clear driveway. You could back the car down easily and drive off into the vanities of the world with a broken heater fan and a song on the radio. All morning long, we work side by side, me with my commentary, and he inside his generous pocket of silence, until the hour is nearly noon and the snow is piled high all around us. Then I hear him speak. After this, he asks, can we go inside and play cards? Certainly, I reply, and I will heat some milk and bring cups of hot chocolate to the table while you shuffle the deck. And our boots stand by, dripping by the door. Ah, says the Buddha, lifting his eyes and leaning for a moment on his shovel before he drives the thin blade again deep into the glittering white snow. Thank you very much, Billy Collins, 84 years old this year. May you continue to write poetry.
Hi, good morning. My name is John Kotler. I had a slight cold this morning, but I couldn't miss this event. The poem I'm going to read is by it's part of a longer series of poems by T.S. Eliot called Four Quartets. And this section begins with some of his most famous lines. And they kind of came to me over the last several days as I think about the changing of the year, getting older. I had my 77th birthday a little earlier this month, and issues of the meaning of life at this precarious time in our world. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. Through the unknown remembered gate, when the last of earth left to discover is that which was the beginning. At the source of the longest river, the voice of the hidden waterfall, and the children in the apple tree, not known because not looked for, but heard, half heard in the stillness. Between two waves of the sea, quick now, here, now, always, a condition of complete simplicity. Costing no less than everything, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, when the tongues of flame are enfolded into the crowned knot of fire, and the fire and the rose are one. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody who's already shared poetry, and we will have time to share some more poems after we sing our hymn. So please rise in body and spirit to sing hymn number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do.
This is an original poem that I wrote, and it's a winter poem. The stark beauty of winter resides in the stately rise of the gray-brown rough-hewn tree trunks, their branches conjuring charms like ballerinas' arms, and their twigs as they try to touch the slate gray sky.
Hi, I'm Carolyn, and I'm new. And I wrote this in Mrs. Thomas's 9th grade English class. When the moon is full, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
When the moon is full and the dancing in the hills, time goes fast. When the bell is near and the children strain to hear, time goes slow. When you think it's too late to say you're sorry, time stops.
Hi, I'm Doug Mader, and I'm old. I'm a cisgender white male. Think of Santa Claus who went to the barber on December 26th. And I'm wearing a green and yellow shirt that celebrates the season. From A Christmas Story. I have two things to share today. One is a poem or song that I learned the words to earlier this year. Since my wife left me 3 years ago, but I'm completely over that. Some words: callous is insensitive and cruel, obdurate is stubborn. On a tree by a river a little bird sit, singing willow, tit willow, tit willow. And I said to him, Dickie bird, why do you sit, singing willow, tit willow, tit willow? Is it a weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or a rather tough worm in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head he replied, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. He slapped at his breast as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit willow, tit willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. He sobbed and he sighed and a gurgle he gave. Then he plunged himself into a billowy wave. And an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Blip, 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 blip. Now I feel just as sure as I know that my name isn't Willow, tit willow, tit willow. That was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. And if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why. Though I probably shall not exclaim ere I die, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. I did this last year, a song that was sad, and then I followed it up with something lighter. Not very original. This is Britain's most beloved children's poem, written in 1867. Like a good Unitarian, I evaluated the words and I changed one of them because the sense of it has changed since 1867. 5 pounds would be worth about $14,000 today. And a shilling would be worth about $9. Mince is chopped meat, and quince is like an apple. A bong tree could be poisonous, but it's definitely exotic. And a runcible spoon, which this poet made up, is like a spork. It has 3 tines, and it's a bowl like a spoon, and a sharpened edge, so you can cut fruit like a knife. There we go. And you can see this book of poems from my childhood. The owl and the kitty cat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some money and plenty of honey wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar. Oh, lovely kitty, oh, kitty, my love, what a beautiful kitty you are, you are, you are. What a beautiful kitty you are. Kitty said to the owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married, too long we have tarried, but what shall we do for a ring?" They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows, and there in a wood a piggy-wig stood with a ring at the end of his nose, his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" said the piggy. "I will." So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. With apologies to clergy. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon, and hand in hand on the edge of the sand they danced by the light of the moon. The moon, the moon, they danced by the light of the moon. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny Lee, and I'm wearing a mauve-colored skirt and polka dot tights and charcoal cardigan, and my pronouns are she, her. And this is a poem inspired by a midterm exam, a take-home midterm exam that my father brought home from one of his astronomy classes at the University of Maryland. And it's called Astro 410 Radio Astronomy Midterm Exam. I pledge my honor that I have not given or received any unauthorized assistance on this examination. Official University Honor Pledge. What is meant by the brightness or specific intensity of a source? What of the impossible lamplight in a sudden snowed-over land? Or the brave lit eyes of the sapling girl leaning into the storm towards the April she has written herself? And what are the units for this quantity? Can units of Jansky express the child's astounding optical depth? Can radians account for the crying sphere that is her heart? Assuming you witness her sway, assuming everything about your observation is right, is observable, both in day and at night, can you now detect the source? Possibly it is some parcel of kindness absorbed and emitted, or else an imagination, flaming quick, then breathing in its own sure air, so gaining perfect stability. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kathy Wise, pronouns she, her, not wearing pajamas, but I'm wearing fleecy clothes that are cozy. And this was my Sunday school, and it's good to be back many decades later. So it's a very short poem by Emily Dickinson, and sometimes I can get through it without my voice breaking, so I'm going to try that. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin unto his nest again, I shall not live in vain.
That was so beautiful. Hi, my name is LaTanya. My pronouns are she, her. This is my first time here, and I guess I'm dressed for the occasion. All right, so this is a poem I wrote. It's a declaration of hope to anyone who feels like they can't start again, to anyone whose hands feel too tired, whose dreams have withered in the sun. Remember this: God is still with us, still breathing life into what looks like dust, still turning ordinary soil into something sacred. Hold on. What feels small can take root, and sometimes the act of faith is just believing you can grow again. This is entitled An Act of God. I used to admire from afar those who grew what they ate, who coaxed life from soil with hands that knew patience. I thought that kind of green belonged to others. My days were motion, my heart on the go, my hands too full of everything else. Then the headlines came, crops rotten in the fields, workers bent in unseen roles, feeding a nation that seldom thanked them. In their honor, I planted a prayer more than a plan, a quiet offering to the ones who turned dust into dinner. And somewhere between seed and sun, my gratitude became something else, a stillness, a practice, a way of meeting God. Because for me to grow anything felt impossible. It would take an act of God. So each day I carried gallons of water, slow, deliberate, the weight reminded me to breathe. Mindfulness made visible, faith made tangible, and day by day something changed. The plants lived, I learned, the soul received me, the silence grew kind. Now I walk among the leaves and feel a quiet knowing that I too am capable of sustaining life. That prayer became practice, practice became belief, and belief became fruit. I was never just growing food, I was growing faith, rooted, alive, felt by the very love that keeps the world turning. So just an update on my venture. I went outside and all of my broccoli, I'm growing in a green stalk, a vertical garden, 2 of them. I went outside and all of my broccoli was gone. I was like, what happened? And then I was like, wait a minute. And then the next day, I went and they started on my, what do you call it? My not cabbage, but collards, which are, I really want some collards. And so I was like, well, surely they'll leave something for me. First day, something was pulled up. Next day, something was pulled up. I was like, oh no, I gotta do something. So I covered my garden and it's still growing today. So I'm so happy because I never could grow anything. But with mindfulness, I've been able to have a sustaining garden. Thank you.
We have one more poem and then we'll finish up.
Good morning. Mike, he, him. I've hung on to this one for 70-some years. It was written by Grantland Rice, that you may know was generally thought to be the best American sports writer of the first half of the last century. Okay. And he wrote, across the field of play, the dusk has come, the hour is late. The fight is done and lost or won. Upon the field of life, the darkness gathers far and wide. But in the night beyond the fight, the player finds his rest at last. Nor victory nor yet defeat is chalked against the player's name. For when the one great scorer comes to mark against his name, he writes not that he won or lost, but how he played the game.
Wow, that was high. Thank you to everybody who shared some poetry today. I know we all appreciate it. And I'm so glad and grateful that there were people here to listen as well, because that is also an important part of the poetic process. So I invite you to rise in body and spirit to sing hymn number 1007, There's a River Flowing Through My Soul. At Cedar Lane, we have announcements every Sunday, but they aren't just announcements. They're updates. They are invitations. Each one is a chance to connect, to show up, and to live out our values in real ways. These are opportunities to grow in community, to deepen your faith, and to make a difference. So on Tuesday, December 31st, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., we're offering something a little different for the holiday. Instead of noise and countdowns, we're opening our sanctuary for our annual New Year's Eve Labyrinth Walk. This is a contemplative way to close out the year. You're invited to walk the labyrinth at your own pace, reflecting on what you are ready to release and what you would like to carry into the new year ahead. The evening will be accompanied by beautiful live music by Meg Barker on harp and piano, creating a calm and spacious atmosphere. You can drop in for a few minutes or stay as long as you like. You can find out more details and let us know you're coming on Realm and in the e-news. And if your New Year's commitments include going deeper spiritually, we have two meaningful offerings to share. First, join us for our adult faith formation launch of the Friday Night Flourish. On Friday, January 9th from 6 to 9, this adults-only evening is an immersive, experiential approach to spiritual development. And this month will feature a heart-opening cacao ceremony. So come curious and leave feeling grounded and energized. And then Saturday morning from 9:30 to 12:30, we invite you to a sadhana, a contemplative practice retreat. led by Reverend Abi Janamanchi, Reverend Louise Green, and Kathleen Holme. This gentle half-day retreat weaves together meditation, yoga, mindful eating, prayer, ritual, and shared silence. Sadhana means a practice that steadies the spirit, shapes the heart, and all bodies and experience levels are welcome. You can go to both and create a mini spiritual retreat for yourself to start 2026 off in a state of positive flow. And then a little later in January, this MLK Day, we invite our teens to turn our day off into a day of action. So if you know a teen, they are invited on Monday, January 19th from 10 to 12 to come to Cedar Lane for our MLK Day of Service for 12 to 17-year-olds. Teens will create care bags for people in our community experiencing food insecurity, many of them immigrants, filling each bag with food, care items, and handwritten notes of encouragement. If you want to support our teens, consider bringing a donation next Sunday. We especially need corn flour, cooking oil, and diapers of all sizes. And looking ahead again into January, we want to let you know about 2 congregational town halls. These gatherings will include updates from the Staff Alignment Task Force and a more in-depth look at the financial state of Cedar Lane with time for questions and conversations. The first town hall will take place in person on Sunday, January 11th, immediately after service, and the second option will be Tuesday, January 13th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Registration is required for the Zoom meeting, so please be sure to sign up in advance. So we hope that you'll at least attend one of these sessions and be part of the conversation as we move into the new year together. And as we close our service, I wanted to end with another poem written by Cedar Laners together. We had a spiritual resilience retreat in the beginning of the congregational year where people were invited to create altars at different tables and then give each altar a name. And then when we put all the names together, it really came out as a poem. And so to close today, I'd like to share this poem called Altar Names. Cycles of endurance, natural resilience. We are strong, grounded, potential energy blooming in winter, blue boat home. Resilience is here, opening to life, strength in diversity, pulsating. There is no beginning, there is no end. But of course, there is. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.